Okay, so picture this scenario. Let's say you're doing your physics practical. You've already plotted out your points very nicely on the graph, like this, and you have drawn your best fit line. And then the next part of the question asks you to describe the relationship between your y-axis and your x-axis, whatever it may be. So what are your choices? Will you say, in this case, that y increases linearly with x, or would you rather say that y is directly proportional to x? Okay, so if you're not sure about this, then you should watch ahead. Now, these two answers, right, these two statements, y increases linearly with x and y is directly proportional to x, in this case are both true. So they are both correct, but one of the answers is better than the other. Okay, and the better answer in this case is actually this one. Okay, y is directly proportional to x. Now, why is this the better answer in this case, and how do we choose when we approach this kind of question in the future? Okay, first of all, let's look at what it means by y increases linearly with x. Okay, so when we say y increases linearly with x, or y decreases linearly with x, what we refer to is that of a line, right, that obeys the equation y equals to mx plus c. And so the range of lines that we can that fits into this description of y increases linearly with x, for example, is basically any straight line that has a positive gradient, like this, right? Even those that pass through, regardless of whether or not it passes through the origin. All of these lines that I've drawn here so far are lines that agree with this description, y increases linearly with x. Now, of course, if y decreases linearly with x, that would refer to the entire set of lines that have negative gradients. Okay? Now, y is directly proportional to x is a more specific statement than y increases linearly with x. Okay? Where y increases linearly with x refers to any line that has a positive gradient regardless of whether or not it passes through the origin. Y is directly proportional to x only refers to lines that pass through the origin. Okay? So this line, even this line, even this line. Okay? Now, you will notice that for these lines, they obey the equation y equals to kx, right? And then there is no plus c because there is no y-intercept. The y-intercept is 0, you see? Everything passes through the origin. Now, this is a very important point to note because students often make the mistake of saying that y increases linearly with x, or even just as x increases, y increases, which is too vague of a statement, too general of a statement. Okay, if you are capable of making a more specific statement given the graph, then you must make the statement as specific as possible so that you can show the examiner that you do indeed know what you're talking about.